here, daily chart. Zoom it down a little bit. So I threw in some support and resistance levels here. So anytime I chart something out, I always start on the daily and I put in the support and resistance levels. So I look for 3 touches for support and resistance lines. So I got, if you zoom back here, I got one here, an old one, an old resistance that became a support for us when it came down from this 50 level. We had one right here that it's currently sitting at, which is around 540s, 530s. We've got a resistance up here at, it looks like that's 652. We got 758, 1034, 1443, and 1693. So these are all roundabouts. I do a real rough draft when I chart my supports and resistance. I just look for the touches, click it, and then I'll go in. When I zoom in, I'll adjust them according. So I usually look for zones. If we're looking at 560, I'll say 540 to 560 would be a good level, and then so on and so forth. So this is the daily chart. If you look on the daily, the MACD just flipped green, so that's a bullish sign. If I can get this MACD to look a little better here, there we go. We'll move that down a little. That like that. So we got the MACD flip. We've got the MFI, which is the money flow index. I use the money flow index over the RSI because I just find it a little more accurate. The RSI I've seen oversold and the stock continues to tank multiple times, and then I've seen it overbought and it continued to go up. So the MFI I find to be the most accurate of the overbought and oversold indicators. And as of right now, it's on a curl and it's on its way up, so that means money's flowing in. So money flow index tells us when money's coming in and when money's going out, and that's what we're looking for. So that's a good sign right there for us. The money flow index is on its way up. If you see here, it started to trend up the last run up to the 19s. Before you could have caught, and if you caught this money flow index coming up, if you look right around here, before it even really went, it started to curl up nice. So we're going to be looking for that to be breaking out soon. I did snag a position in here. I'm swinging. Like I said, this is not financial advice, just telling you what I'm looking at, and they just crushed their earnings report. So it really blew me that ATER hits their earnings for. I'll pull it up. I'm going to go on. I'm going to look at ATER's last report. We'll look over it, and then I'll also talk about the short interest, things like that. So ATER stock. So I believe they 16% year-over-year growth. Hold on. Let me pull it up. Here we go. You know what? Why don't I pull it up here so we can look over it together? So we're going to look at ATER stock. Yeah, so we had 16% year over year to 68.1 million with positive adjusted EBITDA. Quarterly direct revenue grew 37% year over year. We had gross margin improved to 50% compared to 47.8% in the third quarter of 2020, and contribution margin declined to 20. So that's the only downfalls were the little bit of a decline on the contribution margin, and the operating income declined to a loss of 70.5 million. So I seen that earnings report and it's pretty solid, 16% year over year, 68.1 million compared to the 58.8 million last year. So that's a solid growth. And, last year this stock was, if we look at it here, was up in the 30s, 40s, and 50s, and now this year we're down here. I mean, it had a run to 20, but now we're down here in the 6 level, and it's just so undervalued in my opinion. The shorts have taken advantage of this stock. They have beaten it down. They've been beating it down. It's been on a downtrend forever. Even though this popped up, it hit this level here that it needed to break to fully confirm that that trend change. So it's sold off since then. It's had a couple bounces, and the earnings report, it bounced just a tad. I believe it hit the 8s or 9s. I could pull up the Let me pull up the hourly on it. Can confirm exactly where it went to. I rode the day trade on it. Yeah, so it hit up here in the 860 level. So it's still on a bit of a downtrend, so it's a higher risk trade in my opinion. But I'm still in. I took a swing. I think this is the floor for it right now. This $6, 630, or yeah, 620, 630 level, I believe, or 530 level, I believe is the floor. Anything sub. Hold on. Yeah, so 640s, 630s, 620s, anything is pretty much sub $7 is the floor in my opinion. So I've been loading it. I've been loading everything under 7. Every day that I get day trades and the profits I throw into ATER, I'm pretty bullish here on ATER. Um, Even here on the hourly chart, the MACD is turning. The blues crossing the yellow. The MFI is on that nice uptrend. TTM squeeze is about to squeeze green. You've got these nice 3 green candles here. And then we'll zoom into even the 15-minute chart here. We'll zoom into that 15-minute chart and can also adjust this level here, that support level, to about there. So 585, if you can get in there at 585-ish, I would believe that'd be a solid entry. But anywhere here, sub 7, in my opinion, is a solid entry on ATER. So I'm long ATER here. This short float is about 22%, which is pretty large. We do need, it was about 35% a couple months ago, but I believe the earnings report, they covered a good bit of it. So it's now risen. It's now dropped a little bit. But with this sell off here, I'm going to imagine that it has increased and the data is just not updated yet. But right now, what the data is telling me on, what was it, on Fintel is 22%. So that's the short float on it. It was the #1 short squeeze candidate a while back. It's just been abused by the short sellers. They've just been abusing it. So I believe if we were to have any chance of squeezing any stock, it's going to be ATER that's going to get the squeeze next. We squeezed SPART. We rode that one. We rode BBIG on that micro squeeze, and then it kind of sold off. We rode couple of them on the squeeze in the past year, and I believe ATER is due for a squeeze here. I mean, it just bounced off of this support perfect, had that good earnings pop, and then it sold off almost completely. So I'm in ATER right now. I'm looking to hold it probably 3-6 months, depending. And my price targets are $7.50. I got a second price target at $10.30. $14.40 and $16.88 are my final price targets. But if it has the momentum and it blows through, I'll hold this. A piece of my position all the way up. So that's ATER that I wanted to go over. Like I said, if anybody has any questions, you throw them down in the comments section. Join our Discord. It's free for all. And also, check out our podcast.